Hello and welcome to another video of CircuitDigest. In this video, we decided to build this cool little animatronic eye for this build, and this is a very cool project and very cool looking, so we decided to build it ourselves. So without further ado, let's see how the build process go and how easy and how difficult it is to build this circuit. So as you can see, we have printed all these parts and put it in here, so you can see what are all the parts you will need to be printing. These are all the things that you will require. As you can see, we need a Arduino, some jumper wires, this little board, this breakout board we made. You also need this in order for this project to work. So without further ado, let's see how the build process goes and how everything goes together. So we'll start off with this main base. This is the main base. If you see all the STL files, you'll find a file with the name main base, and in the main base we'll add in 4 Allen screws. You can see these are like this, and it will work as its leg. So first let's screw this in. The trick here is to first attach these screws and then adjust it accordingly. First we'll screw this in and then we'll go all the way like this. If you do it like this, then you can find a perfect symmetry and the base will sit in top of the table without any wiggle or without any issues. So this is the first step, and as you can see, it's done. Next, this is the servo base module, and we'll attach all the servo motors to it. So if you need to keep all the servos in upwards condition, otherwise it will not fit. So just copy what I'm doing and you will be just fine. So now as we have this, we'll put this sub base to the main base, or this servo block to the main base, and it will go just like this. As you can see, it will just fit in like this. Now you need 4 screws to screw this in place. And let me tell you that you need M2, M3 Allen screws or any other M2 and M3 screws to make this whole project happen, and you did not need any other screws, but as we don't have those in our arsenal, so we are using what we have in our stockpile. Now as you can see, this is very tight and securely placed in here, and now we can assemble the other parts of this module. So we'll start off by this Y base, and it will go just like this. You see these 2 holes, this will be in the top, and this is where the screws will go in. This will be just like this. The other 2 screws will go like this. So we just need to do this from the inside, not from the outside. As you can see, once this assembly process is complete, and it will do like this, it will be very smooth, and you can this will be just like this. And once this is done, we can add this servo motor in, and as you can see in here, the screws were not working because this thread was little too big, so I had to use this M3 nut and bolt in place of this screw for this module to work. So I'm placing the nut and I'll just screw it from the back side. This will be a little bit difficult side because the screw is not in line with the nut, but it will come out pretty clear when it's in. Once this is done, it will be very easy to like properly tuck it in place. So this screws has you can see this two screws has multiple purposes. First, this two screws hold this part, and this screw will also be holding this eye part, as you can see from the video. This will also hold this eye part just like this. If you see, this screw will also hold this eye part. So let's now build the other parts of this thing. So this this is the eye. This part is what moves the eye, and we have pre-assembled this because this part is what that takes most of the time to build. As you can see, this is the eye adapter, the eye holder, the the X adapter, the 3-point connectors. All these things need to be assembled very carefully with 5 mm screws. In some cases, inside you can see I have used two 5 mm screws and Allen screw to hold this properly in place. This will not be tight, but it will be just like loose like this, otherwise the movement and the functionality will not work properly, so keep that in mind. But if you did everything correctly, you will have something like this which can move freely, just like this. And once this assembly is done, what you can do is you can put it here. As you can see, this are the two screws holder and these are the screw, and it connects to this part, and you can use some Allen screws to connect it into its place. And one thing you need to remember is, don't like fully tight this two assemblies. Just keep them a little bit loose, otherwise you will see that this there will be friction with this eyelids with this eye adapter modules. So you need to keep this a little bit loose in order for this to work. I don't know if this is one of the problem that my print got, but just keep this in mind, and I think it'll be like so easy with this little thing. So now we have assembled this, and now we can connect this eyelids to this eyes. So it goes like this. First, what we'll do first is we'll take this two Allen screws and screw this in place, just so that we can use our hand to just place it. This, you see, I did not completely screw this in, and we'll do the same for this, and we'll connect the first eye. Connecting the eye is a little bit tricky, so you need to loosen this up a bit first. Then you need to first connect this, then you need to push the screw in a little so that it won't come off that easily. Then once this is done, You can connect the bottom part of this thing like this, and once everything is aligned properly, you can use this screw and screw this in place. And if everything is working correctly, then you should have something like this. Everything is. Now we'll do the same for this side also. So spruce this screw in a little and connect the top part first, then push the screw in, then we'll connect the bottom part, and once this is done, you can just screw in this last part, and if everything works correctly, then you should be done. So as you can see, this part came off, so I need to reseat that again. So I'm using a screwdriver to reseat it. Now this is done absolutely. Now if everything is working correctly, you have something like this, and we can move on to the next stage. Next we'll connect this eye levers or eye to this things. So now we're done with this, so we'll connect all the eyelids to every eyelid. These are the lever for the eyelids which will move them like this. So let me connect one of them and show you how it works. So one thing you need to keep in mind, there are two sizes, one this big one and another one this small one. So this big one will always go in the bottom eyelid, and this small one is always go in the top eyelid. Not, as you can see now, the eyes can move like this. So we'll do the same for this side also. So we have this little breakout board, and we'll try to connect all these servos to this board, and from here we'll connect this to the Arduino with this jumper wires. So let's start with this top left eyelid. So this is the servo for this. This arm will be attached here. So this is the connector for this. So it will go here. Like so, this is the top left eyelid, and it's going here. So this pin will be connected to pin 10 of the Arduino. Pin 10 of the Arduino, and then we have this bottom left eyelid. So we'll connect it here, and we will connect this to pin 11 of this Arduino. Next we have top right, which is this servo. We'll connect it here, and the corresponding pin will be connected to pin 5 of the Arduino. Next we have this bottom right will be connected here, and it will be connected to pin 6 of the Arduino. Then we have this X arm, then we have this Y arm and the servo for the X arm. So let's first connect the X arm. So let's first connect the X and Y arms. So X arm will be connected to pin 9 of the Arduino, and the Y arm will be connected to pin 3 of the Arduino. That's all the connections you need to do for this module. Now you can move the wires in the back side, and you are mostly done. Now what you need to do is just, these two pins are for power, this is ground and this is VCC. Also you need to connect this to, this is VCC and ground, so we'll connect this to VCC and ground and VCC. And this is all the hardware connections that you need to do. Next, as you can see, we didn't connect all the servo arms to the servo because there is a reason. So if we connect it now and power it up, the servo will rotate freely and move to its set position, but we don't want that. So what we need to do is upload a basic code to this and then attach the arms accordingly. So this way you will be able to use my settings what I have used, and you don't even need to tweak the code in order for this to work if you are making this and interested in making this. So let's first do that. Now the build process is done. We need to upload the test code and set the servos to their 0 position, and then we can set the servos. So for that we need to upload a test code Arduino. So for that we are going to uncomment those close eye and eyeball center function and comment all the other movement codes that I have previously wrote. As you can see, I am doing that right now. So I am commenting those out and I have uncommented those two codes. So what this will do is it will move the eyeball to the center, and now we can proceed further. Now as you can see, I have uploaded the code to the Arduino, and all the servos are in now their rightful positions, and now we will connect all the servo hands to the servo motor themselves. So for that we need to hold the eyelids like this and then connect all the servo hands one by one so that the eyelids are closed in the center position. So as you can see, I am connecting that the top left eyelid. Now I'll connect the bottom left eyelid. Next I'll connect the other two eyelids, and the process will be done. So now I have connected all the eyelids, so it's time to connect the Y arm and the X arm of this build. Now I'll connecting the Y arm. So for the Y arm you need to keep the arm in the center straight and place it on top of the servo and then screw that thing in place, and you will be done. That's all there is to it for the for the Y arm. Now I'll connect the X arm. So for the X arm it's the same thing. You need to just keep that eyeball in a straight position and connect the servo arm to the servo, and that's basically it. And this finishes the build process of this. So that's finally it, and there is nothing much for this build. So as you can see, that's it for the build process. Now what you have to do is uncomment the main code portion in the Arduino, and comment out those first two lines. This will upload the all the some movement code to the Arduino, and the eye will move just like this. So now as you can see, the eye will move just like this. So this is the final part of the video. So if you have done everything correctly, the result should be like something like this. The eye will move automatically without any issues, without any problems, and it will work just as you can see in this video right there. So this is the end of the build process, and I hope you liked and enjoyed the build and the project. So if you have any question regarding the video, the article, please do post in the comment section below, or you can go to our forum and post your questions there. I'll be happy to help with all of your questions. So goodbye.